Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about authority. Now this isn't exactly a comfortable topic. Believe me, I know what it's like to have a boss that can be kind of a pain to work for sometimes. And I really don't want to give this particular message, but I'm not exactly the one in charge. Yeah, I do make the videos, but Great Commission Ministries belongs to God, so I'm just doing what He leads me to. Now, submitting to authority can be a drag sometimes, but as we'll soon discuss, it's all about attitude, having the right one. Now, we've all been there, the overbearing boss who always seems to ask too much and offer too little in return. But the Bible teaches that all authority comes from God. Yeah, even that boss that you can't stand was placed in a position of authority over you for a reason. Now, you may not like it, but apparently God saw it necessary to put you under that person in order to teach you something you need to learn. If nothing else, the importance of submitting to authority. This is why it's so hard for me to give this message. This one speaks to me loud. Now, Romans 13 even takes this to another level that we often don't like. Verse 1 says, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God." Now that last sentence seemed to be very repetitive of the one just before it, but I think God's Word often uses redundancy as a means of emphasizing an important truth. In other words, yeah, in case you didn't hear me the first time, all authority comes from God. This includes police officers, elected officials, local and national leaders, etc. Yeah, I know. Told you I didn't want to bring this message. But stay with me. Let's look at verse 2. "Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves." Ouch. So getting mad at that cop who gave you a traffic ticket when he was only doing his duty and upholding the law, it doesn't exactly make you look good in the eyes of God, huh? Afraid I gotta plead guilty to that one. Now this chapter also tells us that submitting to authority is also why we, hold on to your seats now, pay taxes. Yeah, there's often corruption in governments, and I do think taxes are oppressively overboard. But that doesn't change what Romans 13:7 says. "Give to everyone what you owe them. If you owe taxes, pay taxes. If revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If honor, then honor." So, if it's due, it's due. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't like it either, but that's what God's Word instructs us. There is but one caveat that I'm aware of when it comes to respecting and submitting to authorities. One exception to obeying the law of the land applies to us as Christians. If what they tell you to do is in conflict with the Bible, if they order you to go against what you know to be right according to God's Word, then and only then can you in good conscience disobey their authority. For a Christian, God's law trumps what anyone else tells you to do. Now, I'm not going to get too deep here in something that can be taken way out of context. Suffice to say, as long as it doesn't directly oppose what God says, go ahead and do what the authorities over you tell you to do. The Bible also tells us in 1 Peter 2:13, "Submit yourselves for the Lord's sake to every human authority." And whether that's to governmental authority or to your boss at work, you should submit to them for the Lord's sake. In other words, everything you do, do as unto God. So if your boss asks you to mop the floor, then mop the floor in a way that you know would be pleasing to God. Do it to the best of your ability. This not only shows your boss that you're someone he can depend on, but if they know you're a Christian, and it shouldn't be a secret, you doing an awesome job mopping the floor also makes the Lord look good too. And yeah, doing a lousy job isn't just a bad reflection on you, but also on the God you serve. Too often, we tend to make Christianity look bad or unappealing to people. Is it the example we're showing to those around us? You bet. Are you being a good witness for Jesus or a bad one? Now, if you're only thinking about how you feel when having to do something, then you need to change your attitude. It's not about you. If you claim to be a follower of Christ, it's about Him. Even when I'm mopping the floor? Yep, always. So it really is about attitude. You have the power to choose your attitude in every situation, and that's an awesome thing. Now, I have personally found that when I have the right mindset at work, the day just goes by a lot easier. Now, things may still happen that would normally upset me, but with the right attitude, even submitting to an overbearing boss can be much easier than I ever thought possible. Bottom line, respect authority. Your parents, your teachers, your boss, cops, elected leaders, all authority. Now you may say, hey, I didn't even vote for that guy. Doesn't matter. You still got to show some respect for the authority of his office. It's not about that guy. It's always about honoring God and that which He established. So let me ask you this question. Who's the boss in your life? Honoring those in authority over you shows honor and respect for God, just like dishonoring them dishonors God. Remember, y'all, it's not about you. It's about who the boss is.